Welcome everybody, Josh here, back again today with a brand new product review. Today we're talking to you guys about this, which is the Indiana Jones Cairo Poet from Herbert Johnson. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge, massive fan of the Indiana Jones franchise. I actually have the 4K Blu-ray set for Indiana Jones sitting behind me on that shelf, as well as the standard Blu-ray. And when I was a kid, I actually wanted a Indiana Jones fedora. I just didn't know at the time who actually made the fedora for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is one of my all-time favorite Indiana Jones movies next to Last Crusade. And seeing as though I've been starting this whole crazy cosplay journey over the past 2 years, mostly because of the fact that I wanted to start cosplaying as both my favorite movie and video game characters, Indiana Jones being one of those, and I wanted to get highly screen accurate gear as much as possible. As you guys know, if I can get movie accurate or screen accurate gear within the franchise itself and be able to wear the movie props that were featured in the movie, or even the video games for that matter that I actually based my characters off of, I'm going to go to the utmost lengths in order to do so. And one of the things on that list that's very iconic within Indiana Jones itself is a fedora. And one of the things that I think is pretty cool is the fact that both George Lucas and Steven Spielberg went to Herbert Johnson and basically explained to them who Indiana Jones was as a movie character and that they needed a fedora specifically made for the movie. And they were like, hey, can you guys make us a fedora that kind of looks like a 1930s style fedora or something similar to that in nature? And that's the reason why we have it's a really iconic piece ever since. And ever since seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark as a kid, I really wanted that hat. I didn't really know who made them up until recently when I started collecting my Indiana Jones gear and I started going down that whole entire rabbit hole. And then I eventually found out that Herbert Johnson was indeed the hat makers that made the Indiana Jones fedoras and are still making them even to this day. And that's one of the reasons why I actually wanted over the course of Christmas this year to get one. There's a 16-week lead time, which I didn't know till after the fact. I was actually worried about that just because Indiana Jones 5 is coming out relatively soon, which I do intend on wearing this fedora that I actually acquired to those screenings of Indiana Jones 5. So it'd be kind of cool to take my Western leather jackets as well as my Indiana Jones fedora and wear that out, especially since it's basically screen accurate the one in the movie. I contact Michelle and her team over there at Herbert Johnson. They came back to me within a couple of days stating, yeah, there's a 16-week lead time because, you know, everybody's buying them up for a recent release of the film, and the fact that a lot of cosplayers I know within the cosplay community are wearing these Herbert Johnson Indiana Jones fedoras now. And this is the Cairo Poet. This is representing what Indiana Jones wears in that scene where he goes to Cairo looking for the Staff of Ra, and then from there on he's going to go to the map room and figure out and pinpoint where Lost Ark is within Egypt and kind of try and steal it from the bad guys from World War II. But from there on, that hat has become a staple within the franchise, and being that as it may, I actually did some digging and I was like, hey, I want this Raiders of the Lost Ark style Cairo Poet. Can you purchase this for me? And my dad actually bought it for me over Christmas. It was actually like the week before Christmas, which is why it came so quickly. And given everything that's kind of currently going on in the current state of the world right now, being the fact that this is a really popular style poet to get within the hat collectors and Indiana Jones cosplay community, I actually acquired mine relatively recently. I was originally supposed to get this on Friday last week, but due to the fact that there was a rainstorm all day, then it was lightning towards the evening, and then it snowed towards the night up until the next day, they delayed it till Monday, which I understand because I wouldn't want to be driving around that nonsense either. I live in Minnesota where the weather is not entirely cooperative all the time, so that's the reason why it got delayed and pushed back a little bit. But I was patient. I knew that once I finally got this hat in my possession, I was going to open it up out of the box, which I basically just did, and be trying that on and taking pictures of it like I currently did before I started making this video. And I am ecstatic and over the moon for actually finally having the screen accurate version of the Indiana Jones fedora in my possession. It's quickly become one of my favorite fedoras next to the Kubrick Federation 4 Deluxe, which I do have and have done a review of on this channel. If you guys are looking for a highly screen accurate representation of the fedora from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or even Last Crusade, I would suggest going to Herbert Johnson, picking these Cairo Poets up, or even the Raiders fedoras and Deep Sable Rabbit fur, just because of the fact that this is as close as you or I are gonna actually ever going to be to owning the real thing, to owning the hat worn by Harrison Ford in those films. So if you want to cosplay as that character, I would highly suggest, as an Indiana Jones fan, as someone that really loves those movies in their entirety throughout my entire life, I would suggest that you're not throwing your money away. I think that you should definitely pick these up and have this in your possession because you will not be disappointed in the least. I think that this is great even if you just want to put it on a shelf in your movie room where you have all your Blu-rays and video games and stuff like that as a piece of movie history and memorabilia that you want to kind of display on a shelf like what I got here. It's definitely a great conversation starter piece because if you're out there in public wearing this, you're definitely going to get noticed. People are going to come up to you and ask, is that the Herbert Johnson or Raiders fedora? And if you actually have one of those in your possession like what I do right now, you can actually take it off your head and show them inside of the hat itself because it has the Herbert Johnson logo and the patch on the side that states, and this is the Herbert Johnson Cairo Poet from Herbert Johnson. So without further ado, I'm going to actually try this on for myself. I've already shot this video once before. I want to get a better take just so I could have something else to edit later on if I didn't really like the way that was going. But with the power of video editing, I can kind of just show you guys what it looks like with it on and kind of give you guys my final thoughts and opinions on this hat. So let me go do that, and I'll get back to you guys in the video. So this is what the Herbert Johnson Cairo poet looks like on me. This is a 57.5 centimeter fedora. Inside of the hat itself, it actually has the logo of Herbert Johnson. On the side, I think it's over here, it has this patch that says Herbert Johnson Cairo poet, and it states when it was actually made. But as far as a fedora is concerned, I really do like this Herbert Johnson Indiana Jones Cairo poet. I think it's definitely worth the money. As an Indiana Jones fanatic, I've always wanted a fedora that looks like the one from the movie, and being that this is as close as I'm gonna actually ever get to having the real deal and having the real thing, and due to the fact this is made by the company who produced it for the Raiders Lost Ark franchise as well as Last Crusade, I'm really happy that I finally have this at my disposal to take to things like just going out casually to retail stores, whether that's going to the gas station, to the grocery store, out to dinner with friends or family, or even to the movie theater, which when Indiana Jones 5 does come out, like I stated before, I do intend on actually taking this to those screenings and wearing my Indiana Jones gear that I do have in my possession, because I think it'd be kind of cool to go to those events dressed like Indiana Jones. But in any case, if I were to rate this, I would have to give this about an A+. I think this is a fantastic piece of movie history that you can have at your disposal in your memorabilia collection, just because of the fact that I like collecting gear that is screen accurate to that of the film. I like having the props itself at my disposal, and like I said before, this is as close as I'm ever going to get to owning the actual fedora used in Raiders Lost Ark. So I really do like it. I think that if you're thinking about buying it, if you're actually a cosplayer and you want to wear this out, you're going to have a really fun time doing that. If you just want to wear it casually to formal or non-formal events, it's going to be a really great hat, just because it kind of has that 1930s gangster style feel to it, similar to that of my Kubra Federation 4 Deluxe, which I do have back there. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I definitely am really happy that I finally have this piece to my Indiana Jones cosplay puzzle that's been going on for roughly around 2 years now, like I stated before. I'm basically almost done with it. The only thing I really need to complete it is the Alden 405s, which I do plan on getting those indie boots at some point in time in the near future. Maybe I'll do a video of that for you guys on this channel. I do plan on getting a kangaroo hide bullwhip at some point in time, closely recreating that of Raiders Lost Ark or even Last Crusade. So maybe I'll do that in the near future and actually do a video for you guys on this channel. And then yeah, it'll basically be done unless I get the Harrison Ford trousers from Wested, which I'm definitely considering, just because of the fact that I need those to kind of look the part as indie. But for the price that you're paying for the shipping and lead time, due to the fact that these are highly collectible, these are something that people that are fans of the franchise are seeking out, I definitely am happy that I have one at my disposal in my possession myself. So thank you to Michelle and the team at Herbert Johnson for getting this to me as quickly as possible, for making this fedora for me. I'm definitely going to plan on taking good care of this thing, just because of the fact that I baby my Kubra Federation 4 Deluxe a lot, and it's kind of gone with me on a few different adventures, as I do believe this Cairo poet is going to be going on a few adventures with me in the near future. So hopefully you guys like this review, but let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this Cairo poet. Are you guys going to actually end up going out and getting this for yourselves? Are you going to cosplay as Indiana Jones? Is this something that you're kind of looking forward to and interested in getting for your collection? I am really happy with this. I can't really say anything negative or bad about Herbert Johnson or Michelle over there, just because her team is really great in what they do. So I would suggest you guys go out and buy this. But as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, and I'll get back to you guys in the next video. Peace out.